Hi guys, so I'm still sick. Oh, there's a kitty. Hello Maya. Come here. Hello. Hi baby. Say hello to everyone. So we're just gonna do this video with you on my lap. She'll probably disappear pretty fast. Oh, you're in an affectionate mood. So yeah, I'm still sick. I'm not super sick, but I'm still sick. I've got this lingering cough, and I had my Rising Sun in Auburn gig yesterday. So if you saw my first video about being sick, I had to postpone my gig at the Rising Sun Hotel. And luckily they were able to swap me over so that I would play the following week instead of that week when I was really sick. And that was really, really nice of them because they didn't have to do that. They could have just cancelled me and replaced me with someone else. So I really appreciated that. And so yesterday I was not going to cancel on them, but I really wasn't well enough. And it was an absolute struggle. I don't think I've performed a harder gig physically before. Everything that comes naturally to me normally, all the techniques that I've learned and the stamina that I've built up to perform sets of music just disappears. It's been 2.5 weeks since I got sick, and in that 2.5 weeks I've gone from here to here, and it's gonna take a while for me to come back up to here, and that's what happens when I get sick. I didn't lose my voice this time, and I thought that I would be okay, that this time wouldn't be as bad, but it knocks your whole system. So my breathing is more labored, my stamina, as I said, my body is fighting off an illness, and it's so busy doing that it's really hard to, get it to do all that it needs to do for a performance. So not only is it to do with the throat, but it's all about the lungs and all your muscles working in the right way. And yeah, so I was freaking out on Saturday night because I tried to perform one song and I couldn't get through it without coughing. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I can't let them down. And I really didn't want to. And having been sick as well, I haven't been busking. I haven't been bringing in that income. So I needed the gig for financial reasons, as well as I've been looking forward to this gig for 3 months. I loved the last time I was there. And, it ended up that once again, it was an amazing gig. The audience are just so welcoming and wonderful down there, both times that I performed. And being in that sort of environment, where people are actually listening, they applaud and they're appreciating you, and really showing it. It's such a change from what I get when I go busking, for the most part. And you need that to keep motivated and keep going. So yeah, after not being able to sing one song on Saturday night, I was imagining the worst. I was thinking I might get there, I might not get through one song, I might not get through one set, it might go just to absolute pot, and I might have to turn and say, look, I'm sorry, I have to go, I can't do anymore, which I really, really didn't want to do because I didn't want to let them down. I wanted to give them the best gig that I could possibly provide. And I mean, unfortunately, because I'm sick, it wasn't, to my 100% standard, but I gave my absolute all to make that gig the best it could possibly be at that point in time as I was. I was going okay. There are a couple of songs where, it got pretty gritty, my voice. I couldn't reach some of the higher notes. I think the main problems I was finding were related to my breathing and my support. With this cough, when I have a big breath in, it irritates my airway and causes me to need to cough. So I had to sort of balance there between breathing in enough and breathing in not enough to make me cough. And the balance ended up being that I really wasn't getting enough breath, which meant I couldn't hold notes as long, and it also meant I wasn't getting enough air to stop myself from feeling faint. I honestly, by the time I got to set 2, the end of set 2, and I sort of went to stand up and go on my break, I was like, whoa, I feel like I could fall over. And then I realized, well, I hadn't eaten that much throughout the day. I'd had breakfast late, but it was probably around my lunchtime. So I had a couple of snacks on me, and I had some peanuts and some chocolates. I don't know, but anyway, chocolate sultanas, I couldn't resist. Oh my gosh, see? But anyway, so I had some of those. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's that I haven't eaten enough. So let's get some energy into me, and then I can start set 3 renewed. And I started to feel a bit better, but then I went to sit down for set 3, and it just overtook me again, and I was like, whoa, I might fall off my chair. I was having the shakes as well, which was just wonderful. But I got straight back to it and performed my whole 3rd set. And I was really struggling to keep up the smile, happy facade and not let the, oh my God, I'm so sick, I think I'm gonna faint, what's going on? Keep that out of my performance, because I'm not there to make everyone feel like, oh my God, she's so sick. I'm there to just be the performance. And so I did find myself sort of shutting down a little bit in the emotional, facial expressions, connecting with people at the beginning of set 3. But then I was like, Samantha, you gotta do this. You gotta give the best performance you can give. So I gave that extra push and brought myself back into the moment, connected with people, and didn't let myself faint. It was a very fine line there. I was like, oh my God. And then it got to the end and they wanted an encore, and I love doing encores for people. I want to play till they don't want to hear me anymore, but 1, 2, sometimes 3 more. Yeah. I'm easily swayed, but for this gig I was like, I don't know that I have 1 more in me. If I do that, that might just push me over the edge, and this could not end well. But I managed to pull it together. I did the encore. I took every last little bit inside me, and I got through it. But yeah, it's not the way I'd like to experience that gig again. It was so tough. My whole body was exhausted and I wasn't fit to drive home afterwards. Luckily, Kyle had come with me, so he drove us home while I just it would not have been safe for me to have been behind the wheel. As I said, I was feeling faint, and I was so tired. So that was lucky. But I definitely, left it all at the gig, left it all at the Rising Sun. So one fun side effect of this gig. Last night, I developed a very sore, stiff, tight jaw. This morning, I still have the stiff, tight jaw. And throughout the day, and it's now the nighttime, and my jaw is not in a good shape. And I honestly don't know whether I've put it out while I was singing. My jaw does click, so that's totally normal. It sort of slides in and out of that little pocket. I'm used to that, but it's pretty sore when I chew and yawn and when I go to cough. And perhaps it's just all the coughing that I've been doing and then the singing, it's just worn out. And probably the whole cold thing as well is attacking my body and it's causing this muscle pain. At least I'm hoping that, and that it's nothing worse. You can definitely feel a big difference. Now, I didn't feel my jaw before this pain, so possibly this is just how it normally feels anyway. But you can feel when I open my mouth on this side, the jaw, say this is the upper part of the jaw and then this is the lower part just comes down. Whereas over this side, upper part, lower part, and when I open, this one slips outwards. And you can feel it. Fun side effect. I'm really hoping that it just dulls down over the next couple of days and I don't have to go to a doctor. Yeah. I'm really over being sick and I'm hoping I have another gig in just under 2 weeks. So at this point, I haven't been busking for probably 3 weeks. And even though it's been a long time, my body has really needed the rest. And if I were to go out busking now and overdo it, I could set myself back quite a bit. And it's hard to know where that line is. When am I well enough to go out busking? Because what I realized is there's a definite distinction between when I'm well enough to do most things and when I'm well enough to perform. I've been helping my mum and dad move house, as I mentioned in my last video about being sick. And that's coming to a close this week. And it's been, all hands on deck. And I've been doing the best I can to help, but I know my body would still like me to be resting. And I don't know, I know I went away, that really didn't do much to my body, but maybe the night in the cold mightn't have helped as well. I don't know. You make all these choices and sometimes you have power over that choice and other times it's just out of necessity. And there's no way of knowing unless you could see where life would go on an alternative journey with the different choice, whether I have delayed my recovery or not. But all I know is that I needed to do most of the things that I've done in the past few weeks. And this is where I'm at the moment. So at least with 2 weeks till my next gig, I should be able to get some time to rest up enough that I'll be back to at least 85% by then. I know it can be a long journey after I get sick to really get back there. But, you know, this year has been quite good for me. There have been a couple of times where I felt a bit zapped, like, you know, perhaps my body was fighting something off, but it was doing a good enough job of it that I wasn't getting many symptoms. But other than that, I've been healthy. So this is really just the first time that I've come down with anything that's sort of knocked me around. So it's not that bad, but, you know, like as a musician, you don't want to get sick. You don't want to not be able to work, because in other professions, not all professions, but a lot of other professions, if you get sick, you can have time off work. Perhaps you get sick pay. Maybe not though. But once you've reached a certain level, you can go back to work and you can work through symptoms. But being a singer, it can take a lot longer before you're actually at that stage again. Can I talk now? I think I've talked enough. My throat is saying, it's enough, Samantha. Just go to bed. So I guess I'll end this video here. I'll end this video here. Great. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll be back soon with a more interesting video than, oh, I'm still sick. And maybe we'll get out busking again in another 2 or 3 weeks. I am missing it. I really am. I mean, I really missed performing, and it was great to get out yesterday, but busking is something within itself. So yeah, it'll be good to get back out there and not be feeling so exhausted all the time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.